Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today I'm going to turn a piece of not so useful scrapbook paper into a useful piece of scrapbook slash mixed media paper. Now I did a video like this prior. I will try to remember to link it down below and at the end of the video for you to check out. But I got a request from a couple of you to do these every once in a while because you guys really like, watching it change and to give you guys ideas and inspiration. Now, I don't know if you are anything like me. If you are anything like me, I should say, when I go to the arts and crafts store, I always look into clearance. And more times than not, they have scrapbook paper on clearance. Sometimes it's holidays, sometimes it's just I don't know, icky colors. Sometimes I even have my own scrapbook paper at home and it may not fit in for what I'm looking for. Now, of course, you can take your printer paper, mixed media, paper, tracing paper, drawing paper, watercolor paper, and do the same exact thing. I have videos of that as well. I will try to find a link. But today, what we're going to do is we are going to take this piece of scrapbook paper that I have in one of my tablets, and I am going to change it. Now, I want to use white I do dig some of these colors, and there is some raised glitter, you know, not going to do much for me, but, let's see what we can come up with. Now, I like gesso. I love gesso. People continuously leave me messages that I cannot use gesso or I can not use white paint in place of gesso, which is ridiculous because I'm using white paint anyway. So if you have white gesso and want to use it, by all means do so. If you have white acrylic paint, by all means use it. Whatever you have, it doesn't matter. Now I'm just going to take a old gift card, credit card, whatever you have. Can be a paintbrush if nothing else. You don't have to do exactly as I. But I just squirted some out here, and I'm just going to kind of load this up a bit. And you see, all I do is kind of give it a scrape everywhere and kind of let it drip. And now I'm going in. I don't know what colors exactly that I'm going to put on top or stamps or anything, but I want to cut some of this out. So I'm just going to go in and scrape. If you want, you can definitely use molding paste, modeling paste, whatever you call it in your neck of the woods. Now watch what happens just by taking some of this color, and make sure you go both ways. You can hear that glitter. I'm sure. I hope it doesn't bother you guys. And look, it's just going to transform it or transport it. So I'm thinking of Doctor Who, I guess. Into a page. So I just got some whites. Now I might want a little bit more, but you can definitely see. Come on now. I'm gonna use a little bit of gesso. Show you that you can use whatever you want. This is a little thicker, as you can see. It's not gonna go down. Drip, drip. And you can make it, very opaque or transparent, whatever you want. I will show you a little trick. You can always go to your dollar store and buy gloves if it bothers you to get your hands dirty. Okay. But I personally love to have paint and everything all over my hands. I feel like I was very productive. Okay, so here's the thing. I did this, I'm digging it. If you look at it and you're like, oh, it's too white, I covered up too much, I want it a little bit less, which I do not, but if you do, take a little bit of your water from your water bottle and squirt it all over there and wet it, and then take another piece of paper or paper towel and set it on there, lift it off, and you will get some of that off. I'll show you one little corner just so you guys get the gist of it. I'll do right here. Just gonna spray a little bit of water. I'm going to take my paper towel, rag, whatever you use, even another piece of paper will work. And I'm just going to kind of give it that and lift it up. And if I need more water, I just go back in and I can just continue. Give it a wipe, and you see how that comes off. Now, you might dig that pushed back kind of white film that it gets, which is absolutely fine. So make sure you do what you like to do, but that is how you can take some of the white away if you want to. I'm going to really quick just hit this with the heat gun, and if you don't have a heat gun, use your hair dryer. If you don't have a hair dryer, of course, I always say go to your local Goodwill or thrift store. Mine have them for $1 or $2, and they work just as good. Or you can do what I've done many times is watch a video for a few minutes and let it dry on its own. Nothing wrong with that. So what colors do I want to do? Well, I'm going to use this for the back of an odd girl that I'm doing. I'll show you. And that's, I think, is going to be her. I'm going to make her a darker kind of odd girl. It's going to be on a canvas because a lot of you are requesting canvases. You don't want the art quilts as much as you want it on a little canvas. And so I'm going to put some of them out as well. So I want brighter colors because I'm going to make her dark, which I know sounds odd, but it's just the way I do things. So I'm going to take some pink, and this is fuchsia. And I'm just going to do a few squirts. A few squirts will do you. Like that. And I know that there's probably a little bit of wet white on here, and I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to kind of go in and kind of add some color. And what I'll end up doing with this piece, which you can definitely, now you see how I did? I like pushed the card down just to get, and you get great texture that way too. Look at that. You can have really great making a little stamp texture. I love texture. Okay. All right, I got some pink. Again, I want to dry it because when I go to put my next color on, I don't want it to mix. Can you see how nice that pink really is standing out? And that's because I let that white dry. If I didn't let that white dry, for the most part dry, it would have mixed a lot with the pink and we would have got a real light pink, and that's not exactly what I wanted. So it really helps it stand out. All right. Now, a little tip, let me tell you, if for whatever reason you don't have a heat gun, you don't have a hair dryer, and you're sitting and are impatient like I am sometimes, and you're like, I just want this to dry, I just want to go into the next level, I don't have anything dry with it, whatever. Take a piece of paper or take a damp, like I said, paper towel, and kind of just rub it, and you're going to see it's going to lift up the, it's not lifting up all the paint, but if there's paint that's still damp and wet, it just, I don't know, it just kind of helps a little bit to lift that up. So if you're in a situation where maybe you're laying in bed, you're not feeling well, and you want to do a little bit of art, but you don't want to have to bring everything in there, or on your couch, or wherever you may art, you know, at least you can help it out a little bit and it won't mix as much. You know, I'm going to leave that go. We're just going to go on with the green, and I'll show you. So now I'm going to use some of my green. And this is a lime green, which, oh, I love the lime. You know what I'm going to do this time? I'm going to take a paintbrush, and I'm going to go in and just dab it in different places. Over the pink if you want, doesn't matter. Because it's all about mixing. It's all about mixing the paint together to make pretty colors on the paper. All right. All right. So I'm going to lay that here just in case. Scrape off. Let me scrape some of this off because I hate wasting it. I'm just going to roll it. Roll it. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to scrape again. Maybe you want to stay in a certain like place where you're like, you know what, I don't want to scrape all that away, or I don't want to, you know, have green all over the pink. It's all right. Because remember, everything is fixable and you can go back and put more pink if you want. I don't care that some of the bottom's showing, you know, like the underneath, but can you see how different it looks already? You know, I don't care that some of the white's showing. And I'm going to go in and scrape a little bit just to kind of bring it over here a bit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it. I can't even help myself. All right, so let me show you. Drying it, we're drying it. Now, let me tell you a little tip as well, because I love giving tips. If you have printer paper or your mixed media paper, whatever, tape it underneath of you. So when you work, see all of this extra stuff? That'll be on your paper, and you'll be not wasting your paints, and you'll be making another mixed media piece of paper. Me today, a little lazy. Didn't do that, but it kills me when I have to wipe up all that dry paint that I waste. Okay. Now for me, I think I might want a little bit of pink right there. I might have taken too much pink off there. You never know. So I'm just going to do a little bit like that. And then I'm going in and I'm just going to scrape. Yeah. And you see how it just comes back? It's not a big deal. Yeah. Ooh, exciting. All right, now once again, I will dry it and then we will move on to the next part. Acrylic paint dries so fast. It's so nice. Or at least the folk art ones that I use to. But I'm pretty sure acrylic dries fast anyway. Acrylic paint, but it's just love it. Now look how cool. Look at that. Now you can see like up in that corner it's still wet up here, so I'll hit that one more time. But turn your paper. Turn it. So I turned it once. I don't know what that's called. Clockwise, clear. I don't know. When I dry this, I'll hit this one more time. Hit this real quick. And you see, just so good. So you can, like I said, turn it so it's a different position. Look at it a little bit differently. Okay, so that's what I have there. Now I want to do some stamping, and I can see it's a little damp in other places. Again, do as I told you to do. You can just take your paper towel, your art rag, your paper, and lay it down. And what it's going to do is just lift up any of that little bit of extra wetness that you don't necessarily want to maybe drag in. Okay, so we have that. So I want to add some stamps to it, a little bit of texture. And I'm not worrying too much about what I'm going to do. So these are the ones I have. I'll turn it this way. That I have sitting here. And then this one's a music one. So these are what I'm going to use. So do this one first. And I also have some purple and some gray that we're going to try. Let's do purple first, and it's royal purple from Stays On. And I'm just going to, now you know what would be cool? Maybe I'll do it on an ATC where you could just have the petals, the flowers without all the leaves. which we'll do in another video. And you see, I'm just going to lay it down, laying it down, not worrying if I'm hitting all of it or getting the whole stamp. It's just going to end up being a little bit of texture. Okay. That is all I'm going to do with that. So I will put it away because we're not going to do that much. What is this slate color? Let's do this in the music. I like to push you can see I do my stamps a million different ways. Sometimes I take it off of the stamp pad. Sometimes I just put the stamp pad on there and do it. Depends on what my mood is. And then I'm just not even going to put it down whole. I'm just going to look at that. So you get just a little bit. I have to get Dave to lube this table. But look at that. I mean, look how simple. Not a big deal. And it's just giving some extra texture. So I think that might be it for me. It really might. This says, remember the important things. I don't think I'm going to put that on there today. And then I got this beautiful feather. And I don't think I'm going to do that either. I think I'm going to stick with what I got going. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of blue. And this is, what color? Ayusa. I am coastal blue. So I'm going to lay a little bit. Again, if you have your papers down, your printer paper or whatever paper that you're, brown paper bag is great. Like when you go to the grocery store, have them put it in the brown paper bag. Bring it home. I rip them apart and I use that as brown, to cover my table or my table out there if I'm doing pours or whatever. A lot of fun. Okay, so I'll take this out of here. I don't want to use that. Okay, so I want a bigger brush. Excuse my arm. All right, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to wet it, and I'm going to wet this a little bit. Okay, my water's a little green, but that's all right. See how it's like a little inky? That's kind of what you want. What you want. And I'm going to go in and just take some of this. Go both ways, remember. Nothing wrong if you go both ways. And I'm just kind of pushing, some of it back. Especially some of the ink that I just put. Now, let me tell you, I use StazOn, which is permanent. So you want a archival ink, pigment ink that will not come off when you do this. If, for whatever reason, you have one that is not permanent, you'll still get good results. It'll just smudge a little bit. Just don't go back and forth. If you go back and forth on it, it won't stay. But if you go over it once, like I'm, just kind of like that, you'll be fine. And anyway, work with the smudges if it happens, because there's nothing wrong with smudges. This is not going to be a pretty paper. This is going to be a good paper that I can use in my art and to make it pretty, You know what I'm saying? All right. Again, if you look at it and you're like, oh, too blue, spray with a little bit of water, take it and dab. I'm not going to. I am going to just dry it. Oh, I love it. This is one of my favorite things to do. I used to sell my paper. Like I would make paper in all kinds of different schemes and stuff and themes and colors and I would sell them like in a set of, 10. I would do them digitally so you can download them all and then you can print them out. You can take them to your local office supply store, Staples, Office Max, whatever, Kinko's, and have them printed out very, very cheap on a good, on laser paper or whatever, and then you have them. Okay. Just so you get just look how pretty. Come on now. Come on now. What are we even talking about here? Look at that, how gorgeous. Now, I'm going to show you this. This is something that you do not have to do. I might not even do it if I can't find my pen. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? Might have to wait till another video. I might have taken the pen in my bedroom when I was. Oh, here it is. This is a Sigma Uniball white pen. And what I like to do, I'm not going to do it on this whole thing, but I do want to show you things that you can do just very quickly. So if you make your own, and even if you don't, even if you just have paper, but if we, you do something like this and you want to add some words or lettering, just take your white, you can take a small paintbrush, white gesso, white paint, whatever color paint you want. This is just a roller, a gel pen. And you can write, like I love breathe is one of my favorite words. Breathe. Make sure your paint's dry. Mine's not all the way dry here, but that's all right. And I just, or you could pretend like you're writing and just kind of, you know what I'm saying? And you get some of that on there, so it kind of is graffiti like almost. You can go in, you can see where some of these flowers are if you want. You could trace them. You could do whatever you want and just have a blast. Now, if you do as I do, make sure before you put your pen away, no matter what pen you're using, put it between tissue or paper towels, give it a turn so it wipes, and then draw. So it gets all that acrylic paint off, because if it dries with the acrylic paint on here, what happens is it becomes permanent and you ruin a lot of pens like I do. So that's what you want to do. Now, last thing I'm going to do, because I think this is so cool and Kathy Spires got me all revved up, we're gonna just make a crackle just a little bit down here to add a little bit of age looking. If I can open my pod, help me. Ugh, it's almost empty. Come on. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brush. I'm gonna dry my brush because I don't want it wet at all. My paint is dry. Don't forget to have your paint dry. I'm going in with a brush and I'm gonna just go like this. Just a little bit. Take it a little bit. And this is Mod Podge I'm using. Okay. Here's hoping that the humidity doesn't bother me today when I'm doing this. And let's do some blue. Let's just do it. I'm going to lay a little bit of blue here. I'm going to take I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to make sure it's dry. Pushing that water out. Going in both sides. And I'm just going to take it down. Take it down. Now, let me tell you, you guys were awesome with the crackle that I did the other day. And some of you asked if there was products that do crackle. So I do have some, and I will be doing that video, like proper. I'm assuming the one who, I can't remember her name right now, Jane maybe, who wrote me and said, do you have proper, what did she say? Do you have proper products that make crackle? So I'm going to show that as well. Yeah, so you see, we're just kind of doing that just to show you different things that you can do. Now I want to show you this. Look how it crackled. You can see now that everything's dry, but I mean, it really crackled really cool. Look at that. So I'm definitely going to rip this apart and use this in a mixed media piece as well. Not this one because it's not going to match, but who knows? Maybe instead I'll do her dress in this. Who knows? But yeah, so it definitely crackled, and as you can see, and dried. So I'm going to hit this, or turn it off with my thumb. I don't want to hold it too close. I just want, ooh, I see it. Just don't hold it too close. Now, the underneath might be a little too busy to really see all the delicious crackle. But if you wait a second, I'll pick it up. And remember, the Mod Podge dries clear. So even though you can see there's some white in here, when it dries clear, you'll see. Okay. And then look at that. You see the crackle coming? Look at that. Like all here. Look at that. So you see what I was trying to do was bring up most of that background, right? But, and this right here is still wet. So, you know, that'll dry clear as well. But you can see all this. All this. Look at that. How cool. So you can always throw some crackle. My only thing is I think that the background is way too busy for it to crackle, to show, I guess, the crackle on the camera, because I have way too much going on here. But I wanted to try it, so I did. But I am thrilled with this page. Now look at it. Now it's a completely different page, and you can rip it up and use it, or you can use it as a background for something. Now something that I love to do, and I'm going to do it anyway, which it's just one of my favorite things to do. Can you guess? Got a wet brush. I'm going to get some, it's going to end up being light green, white by the time I'm done because of my water's white and green. And I'm going to do some white splatters. This is my new thing lately. Not new, but you know what I mean. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. And then get that so it doesn't, I'll end up wearing all that. Oh, I made a mess today, but I don't even care. Look. Look at it. Oh, yeah. I love it. I love it. I just love all of the colors. Well, I'm just gonna let it dry. I don't think I'm gonna blow it dry because I want those puddles to stay. So I think I'm just gonna let it dry. But that's it. That's as fun and easy that you make a new page. You know, don't always feel cornered or like stuck. Like, oh, I want to do something, but I'm like, this isn't inspiring me. This page, this paper, whatever, isn't inspiring me. Maybe somebody, like I said, sent you a random act of kindness, and maybe there's a piece in there that you're not particularly, you know, we all go to different colors and shapes and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, don't feel bad. Use it to your advantage, because the random act of kindness that somebody may send you is done with good heart, good intent. So you have that. So make it and use it. Do you know what I'm saying? And like I said, when you go to the craft store, Walmart, wherever, and they're having clearance of papers, don't look at it when it says Merry Christmas and you can't use it. Bring it home and let it work for you. You can definitely see some of it poking through underneath. And it's as if we took bunches of papers and did millions of layers on here with all the different stamps, and you can see the bottom page, and it's just a lot of fun. And now, like I said, I will let this dry and I will rip it up, and then I will reuse it on my canvas. And I'll show you my canvas when I'm done so you guys can see it, or maybe I'll do it on camera. I don't know. Let me know down below if you want me to do my mixed media canvas for my iGirl on camera so y'all can see me use this. Well, let me know down below. I'd appreciate it. And if you just found me and would like to be, I would love if you would subscribe to me. Click the subscribe button down below. There's a bell over to the side. Click that little bell. You get notified when I upload, which is usually about 5-6 times a week. And yeah, give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this kind of thing. You guys are really sending me great messages on like doing stuff at home and making things work for you. You guys are really digging it. So I am thrilled to death. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. We are working on progress, not perfection. And as always, please be kind to each other. You never know what else somebody else is fighting. I love you guys so very much. I just can't even tell you how much I love you guys. So I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.